So Samsung phones are undoubtedly the most feature-packed phones out of any phone on the market. The trouble is, most people don't even know about 90% of the features. Like, I reckon most people know by now that we can very easily add these basic widgets to our lock screen. But did you know that you can actually add custom widgets as well? All you need to do is install the Lockstar module found within the Good Lock application. And with that open, you just tap on any blank space and you'll get this option that says Add Widget. You tap that, and there you go. Every app installed on your phone that supports widgets will show up, and you can add any that you like. Or did you know that you can actually load in custom fonts for your lock screen clock? To do this, you just long press your lock screen and use your fingerprint to unlock it. Then you tap the clock here, swipe through these preset fonts here, and then you just tap this 3-dot icon here. Any custom fonts that you've already downloaded will show up here, but to download new fonts, you just tap Download Fonts and you'll be taken to the font section within the Galaxy Store, and you can then explore and install any fonts that you like the look of and load it in like so. And then whilst we're talking about lock screen clocks, did you know that you can actually recreate iOS's depth effect on your Samsung phone's lock screen too? This one is actually thanks to a third-party app called Depth Effects Wallpaper, which I've linked below, which essentially has an intelligent masking system that automatically detects any foreground elements in your images and will place what is essentially a date and clock widget underneath those layers. Then, because Samsung phones let you completely disable the clock on your lock screen, you can then use the Depth Effects Wallpaper clock instead, which results in this incredible depth effect for your lock screen that looks seriously amazing. That being said, if you want more control over the clock styles in conjunction with this depth effect, then there is an alternate, more complex method to getting essentially any clock style that you can think of, meaning you can make your lock screen look like this if you like, but I'll explain how to do this in more detail at the end of the video. And then one more hidden lock screen trick is this live weather effect, which honestly looks so cool. To enable this, you first need to head into your phone settings, then scroll down and open up this advanced features section, then tap on labs, and then down here, you'll see this option that says photo ambient wallpaper. You tap to open it, then turn it on, and now you can come back home, long press, then tap on wallpaper and style, then tap on change wallpapers. Now, if you come down a bit, you'll see this new photo ambient option, and you just tap on that, then select any wallpaper that you like. So I'm gonna select this one from my Lumina Walls app, and now I can tap this little play icon to get a preview of what that will look like. And I mean, how cool is that? Just keep in mind, it won't work for all weather conditions, basically only when it's raining or snowing, but it's super cool to see it in action when the conditions are right. All right, from there, take a look at these really neat animations within the Settings app. Notice how, as I swipe back, we get this preview of what we're swiping back to before we actually complete the swipe. Well, this is actually thanks to a feature called Predictive Back Animations, and they're actually available on pretty much any Android phone running Android 14 or later, but Samsung phones have them too. You just need to know how to turn them on. To do so, we need to come down to the About Phone section, then come down and tap on Software Information, then find where it says Build Number and tap that 7 times in a row. This will unlock a hidden developer settings menu, but we can just come back to our main settings menu and tap this search icon. Then we can just start typing the word predictive until this option shows up. Then we just tap on it, wait until it's finished scrolling. Then we just need to enable this toggle, and that's it. Now you've got these super neat animations in any app that supports the feature, like the Settings app, Gmail, the Google Calendar app, plus a bunch more. Oh, and speaking of the Settings app, if I'm being completely honest, in my opinion at least, the default layout of the Settings app, it is super unintuitive. I mean, this modes and routines option is way too high towards the top. You've got this apps menu all the way towards the bottom here, which is way too far down. And I mean, a bunch of this stuff I literally never use, so it's just taking up space. Well, of course, Samsung has given us a way to fix it by using the Registar module found within the Good Lock app. You just open it up, tap on this top option here, then tap here, and now you can not only reorder every single option as much as you like, but you can even completely hide any option as well. Oh, and by the way, for anyone wondering how I've got no navigation bar showing at the bottom of my Galaxy S24, even though Samsung removed the option to hide the nav bar with the One UI 6.0 update, well, that's thanks to another Good Lock module called Navstar. With Navstar open, you just need to toggle on this option that says Enable Extra Gesture Settings. And now when we come into our settings menu, then into the display section, if we come down to this navigation bar option and tap here where it says More Options, you'll see that we now have this gesture hint option back, and we can simply toggle that off to hide our navigation bar, which just makes utilizing all of our screen real estate so much better. All right, from there, I'm now going to show off 4 really handy AI-based tools that honestly, I even forget exist most of the time that I'm using my Galaxy S24. The first are all of the AI photo editing options that we get when we use the stock gallery app. You just open any photo that you want to edit, then tap this pencil icon. And here's the thing, Samsung actually spreads out a lot of its different AI editing tools into a bunch of different sections, which just makes it so hard to remember that they actually exist. Firstly, if you tap this icon here, you then get the option to essentially select anything within your image that you either want to move or completely erase. And man, you just got to try out this feature for yourself because it is seriously amazing how well it works. You can also change the rotation of an image to straighten it out, for example, and the app will actually generate completely new content to fill in the missing pieces. Then if you tap this icon here and then tap on this Object Eraser tool, you get these 2 options down here that let you erase shadows and reflections from an image, which is seriously handy for cleaning up documents or images that you've taken through Windows, for example. Then we've got the AI features found within the Samsung keyboard. So anytime you're writing pretty much any bit of content, whether a message or an email to someone, or perhaps just a note, you have the option of tapping this little AI button here and utilizing either this writing style or the spelling and grammar option. Now, the spelling and grammar option just checks for any mistakes in what we've written, which is fairly standard, but if I tap this writing style option, I can then choose from a bunch of these preset styles here, which will rewrite what I've written into my chosen format accordingly. Then in a similar way, if you use the stock Samsung internet browser, it also has this AI button down here, which offers 2 handy options. A translate tool, which is pretty self-explanatory, but there's also this summarize tool, which can help you to get the gist of really long articles really quickly. And finally, for our AI features, we've got the voice recording app. So anytime you complete a recording within the app, you'll then see this option that allows you to not only transcribe that recording, but it will even generate summaries from that recording, which is amazing. There are also a bunch of other Galaxy AI features scattered throughout One UI, and keep in mind, some of these features might not be available on older devices, but hopefully Samsung adds support for them in a future software update. But if your phone does support them, then you can actually see a handy list of all of the AI features available if you come into your settings menu, then down to this advanced features section. And then if you open up this advanced intelligence option, you'll see all of the AI-based features available. And if you're someone who's particularly concerned with privacy, then you can also enable this toggle down here that forces all AI-based features to process data only locally on your phone. All right, real quick, before we get to the next tip, I just wanted to take a moment to talk about today's video sponsor, Tube Magic. And if you're someone who's interested in growing an audience on YouTube, well, Tube Magic is an incredible AI-powered platform that gives you the tools to do so. It has a built-in keyword research function that allows you to search by volume, competition, and a magic score, which will automatically find you the best keywords for video ideas. And speaking of video ideas, they've also got this dedicated video ideas tool, which allows you to just drop in any channel link, and it will then generate really great and optimized video topics specifically suited to that channel. Tube Magic can also write script outlines or even entire video scripts if you like. Plus it also has this warp upload tool, which allows you to paste in any unlisted video that you might have already uploaded. And it will then generate optimized titles, descriptions, and tags automatically for you, which is honestly just so handy. And what's so cool about this platform is that it was actually made by fellow YouTuber Matt Park, who runs the Make Money Matt channel, plus a bunch of other channels as well. And this is the tool that he uses to optimize every single one of his videos. So to get started with Tube Magic for free, use the first link down in the description below. Okay, from there, let's talk about some handy hidden features related to the cameras and images on your Samsung phone. Firstly, for some of the more recent higher-end Samsung phones, did you know that you can actually shoot images at a 2x field of view using a cropped sensor mode rather than digital zoom, which produces much better quality images? The only issue is the 2x shooting mode doesn't show up in the camera app by default, making it really hard to remember to take advantage of it. But we can turn it on by using a good lock module called Camera Assistant. With that open, you just toggle this setting here, and that's it. Now you'll see that 2x shooting mode within the camera app, which just makes it so much easier to remember to actually use it. And then whilst we're still in the camera app, if we tap this settings cog and swipe down and open up this shooting methods option, did you know that there's this voice command setting that allows you to take pictures by saying various keywords? So you can say phrases like capture or record video, and your phone will snap a shot or start a video recording automatically, all without you having to touch the buttons on your phone. Oh, and if you come over to the mode section within the camera app, there's this really cool dual recording option that allows you to record videos from any two lenses at the same time. Samsung phones used to have a similar feature called Director's View, but that feature forced one of the two lenses to always be the front-facing camera, whereas with this updated dual recording feature, we can actually choose any two lenses, and this, in my opinion, makes it infinitely more useful. Then if we come into the gallery app, tap this hamburger icon, then tap on settings. If we then come down and tap on about gallery, and then we tap where it says the version number a bunch of times, you'll then see a message that says Gallery Labs is enabled. Now we can come back, and down the bottom, we'll have a brand new option called Gallery Labs, which actually unlocks a huge range of hidden tweaks for the gallery app itself, one of which is the ability to lock albums. With this option enabled, you just have to quit and reopen the app, then you just long press on an album, tap this more option here, then tap lock album. Now, whenever you or anyone tries to open that album, you'll need to authenticate it before you can do so, which is super cool. Now, if you're anything like me and you're always accidentally taking screenshots, then there's actually a super easy way to delete them straight away. You just download this Nice Shot module within the Good Lock app, and you just enable this Add Delete button toggle. And now, whenever you accidentally take a screenshot, you can just quickly tap this delete button, and it's gone. And then if you instead wish that there was a way to quickly delete screenshots once you've shared them, then fear not, Samsung also has a solution for that. Just come into the advanced features section again in your settings menu, then tap on this screenshots and screen recordings option, then simply enable this delete after sharing option. And now, as soon as you share your captured screenshot, it'll be removed from your phone immediately. Then in the last video that I made covering hidden tricks for Samsung users, I showed how you can easily customize a double press of your phone's power button to launch any app of your choosing. But did you know that we can also customize a long press as well? This one's available within the Registar Good Lock module, and if you open up this side key press and hold option, then turn it on, you can select any of these custom actions, and there's even an option to open any third-party app as well, which is amazing. All right, second to last, and for a bunch of this year, I kept wondering why on earth Samsung appears not to support an incredible Android feature I use on other Android phones called notification categories. Well, it turns out that the option is still there, but it's just disabled by default, and it's really hard to find the setting. To enable it, you just need to come into this notifications settings menu, then tap on advanced settings, then come down and enable this manage notification categories for each app toggle. With that enabled, instead of having just these basic notification settings for each app, we now get this notification categories option, which allows us to have much more control over the notifications our apps are sending. So for example, without this feature turned on, I keep seeing this annoying messages for web notification telling me that I have devices paired to my computer, and I can't disable that notification without disabling every other messages notification too. But with the settings switched on, I can now disable just the messages for web notifications while still receiving my standard messages notifications, which is so great. And then finally for today, we have one final hidden menu, which is this one called Connectivity Labs. To enable it, we just need to open up our connections menu, then tap on this Wi-Fi option here. Then we need to tap this three-dot icon, then tap on intelligent Wi-Fi. And if we come down to the bottom and tap this intelligent Wi-Fi text a bunch of times, that'll then unlock this Connectivity Lab section, which presents us with a whole heap of useful details related to our Wi-Fi networks, including this home Wi-Fi inspection option that'll actually give you real and practical tips on how to improve your home's Wi-Fi setup and make it faster and more reliable. There's a heap of other options worth exploring within this menu as well. And then before we wrap up the video, I did promise to show you how to take this depth effect on your lock screen to the next level altogether. And we're actually gonna do this primarily by using two apps, one called Photo Layers and another called KLWP, and then a KLWP preset as well. But if you wanna be able to customize your clock even more than what the preset allows for, then you'll also need an app called KWGT, as well as whichever KWGT preset that you wanna use. And I'll leave all of these assets linked below. Then first things first, we want to select our wallpaper of choice. So I'm going to select this one called Wave 98 from my Lumina Walls app. So I'll tap here to download that. Then within the Photo Layers app, we need to tap here where it says load a photo, then select that recently downloaded photo and then tap on done. Now I need to tap on cut. Then what you want to do is use the various tools down here to remove everything but just the foreground components you want your clock to be obscured by. For this example, I'm gonna use the AI auto option, then I'm gonna tap on repair and increase the repair size to 50, then draw back in the bottom here so we're left with just the sky components being removed from the image. With that complete, I'll tap on done, then done again, then I'll tap on save, then save again, and now I'm gonna go ahead and open up the KLWP app. From here, we'll tap on import, then browse to our downloads folder and tap on the recently downloaded KLWP preset file called depth effect. Then we'll tap here, and now we just need to come over to our global section. And at the top here, you'll find two options that we need to use for setting our wallpaper. For this first wallpaper option, we need to select our full screen wallpaper that we downloaded directly from Lumina Walls. Then for this no BG option, we need to select our foreground element exported from the Photo Layers app. Now, by default, this preset has a very iOS-inspired clock loaded in and ready to go, which you could just use as is. And there's also some relevant settings that you can tweak down here if need be as well, including the font and colors for the default clock. But if you wanted to get a completely unique looking clock, then there is a method that we can use to do so, which involves the KWGT app. Essentially, we just need to pick a widget from any third-party widget pack that we like the look of, which for me is gonna be this widget called Widget 87, and it's from the MIUI 14 widgets and super icons pack. But to copy it into the KLWP file, we actually need to convert this widget into what's called a component file. So we'll tap this plus icon here, then tap where it says component, then tap on create. Then I'm gonna select this layer here, then tap to copy it, then I'll open up the component and then paste it in. I'll also need to come back and copy these global settings from the original widget and then paste them into the global section within the component layer. Then with that done, I can tap this components icon up here, then tap on export. With that exported, I can now come back into the KLWP app, and I'll firstly go ahead and delete this default clock layer here just to clean things up. Then I'll tap this plus icon up here, then tap on component, and I should see that custom clock widget that I just exported, which I can then just tap on to import. Then I just need to drag that layer between these two layers like so, and you may need to resize the two image layers as well to make the clock more or less visible, but that's it. Now we just need to save our preset, then we need to tap on set as wallpaper, then set wallpaper, then home screen and lock screen. And with that done, we can come back home and there we go. Our home screen now looks incredible. And because we have that neat trick that lets us hide the clock on our lock screen also now looks amazing as well. And if you don't want to see the clock on your home screen, then back within KLWP, we just need to open up our component layer, then swipe over to the layer tab, then tap here where it says always and change this to if locked. When we save that, now our clock widget will only show on our lock screen, but whenever we unlock our phone, it'll disappear completely. And man, it's reasons like this why I don't ever see myself leaving Android. But there you have it. Those were 20 hidden features that I'm hoping will help you to make the most of your Samsung device. If you enjoyed the video, then a sub would be greatly appreciated. But aside from that, thank you all very much for watching, and I will catch you later.